All right, let's get into one of the weirdest and honestly, one of the most brilliant stories out there, Franz Kafka's The Metamorphosis. We're going to peel back the layers on all the wild symbols that make this story of alienation and family drama so powerful. So the whole thing kicks off with this really simple but totally terrifying question. Just picture it. You wake up one morning, totally normal, except you're not you anymore. You're not even human. Well, that's exactly what happens to our main guy, Gregor Samsa. So, our first stop, the man who became a bug, a prison of Chitin. And look, Gregor doesn't just feel like a bug, he literally is one. We're talking a full-on physical transformation into, as the book puts it, a monstrous vermin. But here's the thing. This transformation, it isn't random. It's not just some weird fantasy plot point. It's actually a super powerful symbol. Kafka is basically saying that Gregor's job as a traveling salesman was so dehumanizing, so soul-crushing, that his body just gave up and changed to match how he felt inside, you know? He already felt like a worthless little pest, and now, well, now he looks the part. And this is what makes it so tragic, right? There's this profound disconnect between his human mind and his insectoid body. Think about that. Inside this disgusting bug shell is still Gregor. He's got all his human thoughts, his worries, his feelings for his family, but he's trapped. He can't speak, can't explain. He is, for all intents and purposes, a prisoner in his own body. All right, let's move on to objects of power and past, anchors and authority, because it's not just Gregor's body that tells the story. Kafka uses everyday objects to show us what's going on in Gregor's mind and how the power in the family is starting to shift in a big way. Okay, check this out. On the one hand, you've got this picture of a woman in furs that Gregor had framed. To him, that's not just a picture on the wall. It's everything. It's his last link to his old life, a desperate attempt to hold on to his humanity. But then, you've got his father's uniform. As Gregor becomes useless as the breadwinner, his dad has to go back to work. And that uniform, it becomes this powerful symbol of his father taking back control, of that old-school patriarchal authority coming right back into the picture. So you see what's happening, right? It's like a seesaw. The weaker Gregor gets, the stronger his father becomes. Those shiny buttons on his dad's uniform aren't just buttons. They stand for the self-respect and power his dad is getting back, all at Gregor's expense. It's a really chilling look at how this family works, where your worth is basically tied to how much money you bring in. The power balance didn't just shift, it was brutally restored right on top of Gregor. This whole power shift, it doesn't end well. It leads to this moment of shocking violence, and it all revolves around an apple. So next up, the father's forbidden fruit, an apple of despair. So things reach a boiling point. In this fit of total rage, Gregor's own father starts throwing apples at him. And one of them gets lodged in his back, in his shell. It creates this horrible wound that just won't heal. And this is so much more than just a physical attack. It's the moment the family's disgust and rejection becomes a real physical thing. And Kafka, being the genius he is, chose an apple for a reason. He's tapping into something much, much bigger. As the source material puts it, the apple acts as a biblical illusion, mirroring the forbidden fruit from the tree of knowledge in the Garden of Eden. So yeah, this isn't just any fruit. So what's a biblical illusion? Well, it's just when a story references something from the Bible. And the connection here is, wow. Just like the forbidden fruit in Eden led to a painful new knowledge and getting kicked out of paradise, this apple gives Gregor a new, awful understanding. It's the aha moment where he finally gets just how much his family resents him. He's officially been cast out. And that apple, it just stays there. It literally festers in his back, a constant, painful reminder of what his father did. This physical rot perfectly mirrors what's happening to him on the inside, psychologically. His depression gets worse, his isolation is complete, and it basically seals his fate. That one act of violence was, in effect, a slow-motion death sentence. So, what happens when Gregor finally dies from his wound and, well, from a broken heart? The last part of the story might actually be the most chilling of all. Let's talk about it. A cruel spring renewal, life after Gregor. The second Gregor dies, the whole vibe of the story just flips. It's almost creepy. The family, who's been living in this dark, tense house, immediately goes and throws open the windows. They let all this fresh spring air and sunlight pour in. I mean, the symbolism couldn't be more obvious. Spring means renewal, hope, a new start, and the awful implication here is that Gregor, He was the problem. He was the obstacle holding them back. Now that he's gone, they can finally move on, plan for a happier future. It's a really brutal, honest look at a family that, when push comes to shove, chooses its own survival over one of its own.
And that leaves us with this really, really uncomfortable question, doesn't it? The family gets to move on, they have this bright new future ahead of them, but only because their son suffered this horrible, tragic fate. So you're forced to ask, was Gregor's tragedy their salvation? A truly chilling thought to leave you with.